everyone. Just on my way in this morning, we've got to do a little detour. Still ill, soldiering on. We are, thanks love. We are off to Scott's. We're going to go and get the wheels. Now I've got the van. Need to pick up the Bentley rims, put them in the back, and start basically test fitting and sizing up the two pieces and the hubs and the bolts and everything, make sure they're all good. Then I will be greeting my first job. I've got to give him a lift home. Obviously he's leaving the car with me for 3 days, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Obviously we've got some stuff coming in Saturday morning, but the majority of it I want to kind of get done within the next 2.5 days. We also can then start shopping things like tyres. Probably going to look at some locking wheel nut keys as well for the wheels, because I don't want them going missing. I'm going to get a McDonald's on the way in, because it's on the way. It's nice and easy and simple. But other than that, guys, it's a short conversation this morning. But hashtag keep the waffle. It's a lovely sunny day. Temperature's due to quieten off this weekend. So today's going to be a real hot one. It's supposed to be 31 to 33 today. And then literally overnight the rain comes in and we're probably going to lose at least 10-13 degrees, so it's going to go back down to, I think, anywhere from 15 to 17 degrees, so it should be quite cold or quite fresh compared to what we've had. It's a rainy weekend. It's Father's Day on Sunday, so all you English dads out there, happy Father's Day. But I'm going to shut up, get on my way, go and pick these beautiful rims up. We're just waiting on the centre caps, and I'll, get those in due course. So I'll see you soon, everyone.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
You know, Friday mornings are good when you're looking at this. Thursday mornings even. Look at this, guys. So Aston Martin Vantage. Very, very nice. Brand new. We've got to do some audio gear in it. So it's got standard stereo system, which sounds terrible, really bad. And we've got front speakers, mid-range tweeters to do. We've got to build him a custom sub box under here. We've got 2 amplifiers to go in it, processor. Should sound wicked. But we'll get a couple of beauty shots. Cue the B-roll. All right, everyone. One very ill Alex coming at you. It's hot, real hot. It's probably 32 today, between 32 33. In here, There's no wind. I'm going to get the fans and aircon on in a minute because there is no breeze. But how are we doing with the Aston? Well, stripped. So I spoke with some very lovely gentleman called James. He's basically Aston Martin integration up in Tewkesbury, Worcestershire. Really nice guy who's basically given me a load of information that has been absolutely key to this thing. This is where we're at. So this is where our subwoofer is going to go, in that location there. So I'm going to build a sub to go in that little void. Power and everything is over there with our battery. We have our Mercedes radio there. In the doors, we've got a 4-inch 10cm sort of MIDI. That is actually linked with the tweeter up in the top of the dash, which is up there. And then down in the floor, at the very depth of the car, just there, you see that? Down there is a mid. Now the way that this is set up, basic Mercedes system, we've got our factory quad lock here. Now somebody's already put an integration unit in here for, I'm guessing, CarPlay, something like that. They've trapped a few cables and some of this stuff is actually already cut. Can you see that yellow cable there? It's already got a nick in it, so we'll have to tape that up. There was loads of screws, 2 screws on top of here, and some of the metal clips which you see in the footwell, so they weren't put back properly, and that was going to be causing David a bit of a rattle later on, so we're going to remove and refit those properly. But I've basically got the center console out to do the connections of what I need. So it's going to go like this. We're going to do a 4-inch coaxial, which is going to go in the factory pod, each door. We're going to do the 6.5-inch component set, so mid-range in the floor, tweeter on the dash. So that is basically going to be our front end, if you will. And then obviously in the back we're going to have the key 500.1 and the 10-inch sub. It's kicking my ass. I'm sweating buckets, and obviously I'm being very careful with this thing not to cause any damage or whatnot, because it is all lovely Alcantara, so you've got to be very careful with it. Here is our center console all safely removed. There are random, like a center channel there. No wonder it sounded weird. It's set up so oddly, but yeah. So doors off, I've got my powers, I'm kind of sussing things out, we're stripping down the car. It's literally taken me 4 hours so far just to get this thing apart to some idea of what I'm doing with it. Now this thing is still under warranty, so we've got to be careful how we do things. So I've got a quad lock there. I'm going to use a Y lead adapter to get my sound in and out. Sorry, I'm going to get my sound out of it. That's going to go into the amplifiers and then amplifiers off to the speakers. We will use the run already through the door for the sort of channel here, and then for the top tweeters and the mid-range and the floor we will run new cable. Obviously the sub will have new cable as well. So yeah, going well. It's very full on, I'm not going to lie. I'm glad I set myself aside 3 days to complete this. I've now got to figure out, apparently this is a complete nightmare, how to get those tweeters out. So I've got to figure out how to get the tweeter panels removed, and then we can start speaker swapping. I've had to order some new speakers for the doors because I didn't realize they were that tiny, but everything else should go in. Yeah, and then start making my connections and building my box. Probably going to be a late one, which might be good because hopefully by tonight the temperature will have cooled off and I can work in here with the door open and just crack on. But it may be a late one, but I wanted to give you a little update. We are delving away. Look at this, come on everyone. Is that not sexual or what? Weirdly, you know, we were talking about different colors, so these are both painted what we call chrome, but the outer is lighter than the inner, which, you know, it just, I don't know whether you can pick that up on camera. It's a slight shade difference between the two, but Jesus, do they look good. I can't wait to get these on the van. They're going to look so nice. Obviously we've got to take apart, clean off all the paint inside the little holes, and then make sure the face is flat when it's bolted and screwed on, and a bit of Loctite on there
to hold it still. The center's obviously been machined out to fit my Mercedes already, and the center here, the cover is being redone in chrome. But fuck me, do these look good. Sorry, shouldn't swear. Anyway, I don't know. Headless chicken time. My brain is a million miles an hour at the minute, and I'm just trying to keep tag of everything that I'm taking apart and trying to keep screws in the same location as the things that I'm taking apart so we don't get lost with anything. So I'm now going to try and get these tweeters out, start doing them, running some cable backwards, mid-range. They can be swapped tomorrow when I get the speakers. I've got to take the other door off, the other mid-range out. So the mid-range and the tweeters can be done. We'll save the coaxials for tomorrow morning. We can start building the box and start figuring out where we're putting the amps. I'll come back to you in a bit, everyone. Happy days.
One winner later.
Afternoon, everyone. Right. Let's bring it up to speed. So, the Aston, not gonna lie, it's been kicking my ass all day. It's a very difficult car to work on. Just to give you some idea of what we've achieved today. Let's grab a torch. So we've ordered some speakers for the doors. The mid-range and the footwell is done. The tweeter is done. Now that looks like you can kind of remove that side trim there for the tweeter housing. Instead you can't. That grille and the mounting comes out in here. So it's taken me 2 hours undoing the little bolts that hold that thing in up from underneath, and you've got to go in through this gap. You literally undo it, drop the thing out, get it out, replace your tweeter, put it all back together. Just putting the tweeter in took me 2 hours. I smashed my head. I feel like crap. So yeah, it's kicking my ass. But we've got it pretty much stripped. The center console is out. We've got all our connections ready to go. I say we're pretty much doors off that side, ready for the coaxial. The tweeter and the mid-range in the floor is done. So that bit should be ready to rock and roll. And then we'll do the other bit tomorrow. And then it's pretty much jumping on with the amplification, running in, building our box, putting it all back together. So probably going to be some late nights coming. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot. It's a big job. I understand now why the other guys said, the other people that have done one of these have said that they had the thing for a week, because it's not a 5-minute job. I probably sold myself short on it, but hey, it is what it is. It's a cool car and I was excited to work on it, so never mind. And you know what, it looks really nice next to the Lotus. If you're a Bond fan, it's like supercar royalty. Anyway, so I had to have a break from doing this, but what I want to do is give these guys a shout out. Aston Martin Installations. All right, they're over in Tewkesbury. I found a lovely guy called James who gave me some like really important information. Really helpful, really nice. Sometimes when you phone people, if you're not doing the job, they're a bit reluctant to kind of give you the information, which, you know, I kind of do myself. I'm guilty of from time to time. But if it's kind of like another guy in the trade, we don't tend to keep secrets from each other. We tend to help each other out. But he's given me some valuable information with this car. And yes, so thank you, James, from Aston Martin Installations in Tewkesbury. They deal with a lot of the older stuff, the Vantage, the DB. They do CarPlay installations and things like that, or reverse cameras and things. So if you're wanting stuff for your Aston, these guys are amazing. So thank you to them. They did help me out massively today. But I thought I'd give myself 5 seconds off, and I built a wheel up and I've test fitted it on the Merc and it all looks fantastic. I'll drop a photo of it now. So we've put one together. I've had to sand off some of the powder coating around the edges, which Scott said I would anyway, because obviously the mating faces, the tolerances are really close. The machining that Dan did for the hub is spot on. It sits on the wheel, sits on the hub on its own perfectly, and we've tightened up the BBS bolts. We've got them to the right spec, 20 Newton meters all the way around, and then, you know, crossing backwards and forwards like a cylinder head to make sure that they fit uniquely and properly and correctly, and, you know, all that jargon. But they look really good on the van. I can't wait to get silly little things like the center caps. Obviously they're coming. We need the tire pressure sensor monitors and then some tires, and these things are good to go. But obviously this is taking my attention for the minute, because we've got to get this Badger done. And I am excited, to be honest. I think it is going to be a rather cool sounding car once we finish putting the speakers in and doing all the processing with the key. It'll have a pretty much active front end, obviously with some extra speakers in the doors, and a sub and box in the back. So all in all, it's going to be a really nice system, and it will be a really nice car sounding system. Other than that, I'm feeling like crap. Today the temperature has been really hot. We've got 2 days of this, Thursday and Friday. I think I lost my marbles and was introducing the day as Friday this morning. It's not. It's Thursday. So what we at today? What's Snap-on saying? So it's 30 in here currently, and it's 6 o'clock. So it's a warm one today. We've got an even warmer one tomorrow. The weather is supposed to get all muggy and horrible, and then we'll have rain and thunder, and it will cool down for the weekend. I've got the Aston technically until Saturday, but that said, obviously if I needed it longer, I'm sure he'd let me have it. I'm hoping we don't run into issues, but obviously it doesn't help that I'm kind of struggling with a cold and feeling like death. But what I may do is go home, rest a bit, have some dinner, get some sleep, and then when it's a bit cooler, I might come in this morning and crack on with it again, do a bit more, see if I can finish off that other side, and then I'm kind of into box building, sub, mounting the amps, that kind of stuff. So I love you and leave you. The start of a really cool vehicle, really cool vid. Some nice bits on this. Super impressed with it. It's got some flaws in the paintwork, which I have noticed, but I guess it's, yeah, composite. So you're going to get a little bit, you know, my Lotus has it, it's not perfect. But as far as colours go, from titanium to the, I don't know what they call this, volcano grey, charcoal grey, it's a beautiful colour, really beautiful. But that's it, guys. I'm waffling, and we don't want this kind of waffle. I'm going to shut up shop, get home, get my ass to bed, take some Lemper sips, and chill out for the rest of the evening. So I will see you tomorrow bright and early, maybe really early. Ciao.